The revolution of ideas continues to propel a nation that is transforming sectors, safeguarding lives, and making it much easier to get a lot of things done. Today's revolutionary ideas inside Jamaica Magazine are providing technologically advanced training for PPV operators and simplifying the way business is done in the country. Welcome to This Wednesday with us. I'm Adrian Atkinson, and I'm about to make your lives a whole lot easier. Stick around.
The TravelPal application was created by the Transport Authority for the protection of the commuting public. Please download the TravelPal application on the Google Play Store or the Apple iOS Store. Once you download the application, put in your phone number, register the application under your phone number, and then you'll be able to verify the license plate that you're going in. Once you verify the license plate and the information of the vehicle, you will then be able to share that trip of the vehicle that you're in. And if there is difficulty on the trip, you will then be able to push a panic button and share your location with others as well. Download the application, give us our feedback at customerservice@ta.org.jm. Don't forget, it's free to download, free to use.
Good day, I'm Stephen McHugh, and this is your JIS News for Wednesday, May 25. The island's first National Identification System, NIDS enrollment site, will be ready by August. That was the commitment given by Minister without Portfolio in the Office of the Prime Minister, Floyd Green, as he made his contribution to the sectoral debate in Parliament Tuesday. The first NIDS enrollment site is in Kingston, and another 5 are to be in operation in the country's capital by year's end.
Continuing on that trajectory, Madam Speaker, we will expand beyond our pilot, which will start in Kingston and St. Andrew, and we will put in an additional 8 sites in early 2023 in Greater Portmore, Mandeville, Old Harbour, Black River, Morant Bay, Ocho Rios, Port Maria, and of course, Montego Bay. By the mid-2023, Madam Speaker, we expect that all other parish capitals will have enrollment sites.
Minister Green also unveiled the island's first NIDS card alongside Prime Minister Andrew Holness. He says the National Identification Card Production Centre is 97% complete. The NIDS software, which powers the rollout of the ID cards, is 90% complete. Minister Green says a memorandum of understanding is to be signed with several financial institutions in 2 weeks' time. The agreement will test the ID cards and is aimed at simplifying the process of opening a bank account when the NIDS is implemented. The Ministry of Health and Wellness is advising that there are no cases of monkeypox reported in Jamaica at this time. However, the ministry is reassuring Jamaicans that should the virus present itself, existing COVID-19 measures will reduce the transmission of the disease.
Persons must report to the health department if they develop a fever, a rash, following recent international travel, or close contact with persons who have traveled to endemic countries. Healthcare workers must also have a heightened sense of awareness of this disease that has been spreading in some countries and report suspected cases to the health department.
Monkeypox is a rare disease that is similar to smallpox and can be transmitted by contact and droplet exposure. Over the last 2 weeks, monkeypox outbreaks have been reported in Europe, North America, and Australia. Most of those cases have been linked to persons with recent travel to countries in West Africa where the virus is endemic. The World Health Organization has reported that the current outbreak is spreading primarily through sexual contact. Symptoms can be mild or severe and associated with a skin rash that can be very itchy or painful. Severe disease may be fatal.
Symptoms include fever, chills, intense headaches, exhaustion, backache, muscle ache, swollen lymph nodes, and rash. Children are at high risk, and monkeypox during pregnancy may lead to complications, congenital monkeypox, or stillbirth.
Government has received 16.69 million euros in grant funding to address environmental and climate change challenges on the island. This is being facilitated through a financing agreement between the state and the European Union (EU) under the Improved Forest Management in Jamaica program. Among the targets is the completion of work to declare the cockpit country a protected area. Minister of Finance Dr. Nigel Clarke says the grant has been critical in advancing policies and programs to bolster Jamaica's environmental protection efforts.
The achievements of this grant and the policies that it has supported include the fact that we have improved the legislative and policy framework around forestry management. We have been able to improve our watershed management. We've been able to finalize the boundaries of the cockpit country, among other policy achievements and initiatives.
This EU budget support has funded so far 46 projects implemented by the Forestry Department aimed at providing alternative livelihoods in forest-dependent communities. There has been a keen focus equipping residents of these communities with the skills to utilize forest resources in more sustainable ways.
During the past financial year, 26 of the 46 projects were completed, with the remaining 20 on track for completion next month. Prime Minister Andrew Holness says government will be examining ways to increase productivity on the island, even as it improves compensation for workers. According to Mr. Holness, Jamaica has one of the lowest productivity rates in the Caribbean region. He argues that there needs to be a paradigm shift to align productivity to income and improved working conditions. The Prime Minister is calling on trade unions and labor bargaining groups to work with the state to find ways to increase the output of each worker.
We can't grow the GDP unless we increase productivity. But we recognize that the workers have a genuine claim, and we must, as best as possible, address that claim and at the same time engage this new frontier of our labor relations. How do we improve productivity?
Mr. Holness was speaking on Monday as he participated in Labor Day activities at Nelson Mandela Park in Halfway Tree. More public sector workers will soon have access to affordable housing. That's due in part to Friday's groundbreaking for Union Acres at Irwin in St. James. The development, which sits on 20 acres of land, will involve the construction of 144 two-bedroom detached units built exclusively for civil servants. Union Acres is a partnership involving the National Housing Trust, the Jamaica Civil Service Association, and the Jamaica Confederation of Trade Unions. Prime Minister Andrew Holness says the units will be appropriately priced for civil servants to afford. They will also be built with climate change in mind.
It's not just the houses that have to be strong and resilient, but we must ensure that the infrastructure is also strong and resilient and caters to the wellness of the people who live in the community.
Units are being constructed in phases, with the first set of homes to be delivered by March 2023. And finally, Jamaica now has the backing of the Republic of India for its Commonwealth Secretary-General candidacy. Foreign Affairs Minister Senator Kamina Johnson-Smith is vying for the top post when the Commonwealth heads of government meets in Rwanda next month. On Tuesday, Prime Minister Andrew Holness welcomed the endorsement, saying it's indicative of the confidence enjoyed by Minister Johnson-Smith. Mr. Holness adds that the support will add to the growing momentum of our campaign. India's backing complements those issued by the United Kingdom, Trinidad and Tobago, Singapore, and the Maldives. And that's it for JIS News Today. I'm Stephen McHugh. Thanks for watching.
What a way you're full of our roots and culture. That was in Jamaica 60. Jamaica 60? What a piece of news, Miss Matty. I feel like my heart going bust up.
Just in, the island of Jamaica is on the verge of celebrating its 60th year of independence.
I only way of celebrating it. They say the people them in them come here, you know. But you see, when our people decide, say the other people them free paper, but no, them say if it's war, start it, whatever. We all collect medal pants fight, you know. Medal. Amount of tongue we give them,
The celebrations are slated to begin on January 1st, 2022. Organized by the Ministry of Culture, Gender, Entertainment and Sport. We have more in this report.
I am on site and planning activities are ablaze. Persons are advised to download the Reggae Jamaica app to know what it activities for the Jamaica 60 celebration.
Yeah, I don't know the app to get the updates then.
It has been a busy past week for the Prime Minister and his team at Jamaica House. We have the highlights.
Prime Minister announces reinstatement of mask mandate, opens $1.3 billion Port Royal Street coastal revetment project, and delivers more homes under the new social housing program. You're watching Jamaica House Weekly. I'm Anthony Morgan. Last week, Prime Minister Andrew Holness welcomed two key endorsements of Jamaica's candidacy for the post of Commonwealth Secretary General. Friday morning, British Prime Minister Boris Johnson confirmed his country's support of Kamina Johnson-Smith for the post. Mr. Holness says the approval is a show of confidence in Minister Johnson-Smith's ability to lead the body. And by May 23, Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago Dr. Keith Rowley also threw his support behind Jamaica's candidate. Mr. Holness says this endorsement is quite significant as it is the first public support received from a CARICOM member state. Voting for the Secretary General will take place at the Commonwealth Heads of Government meeting to be held in Rwanda next month. From May 15 to 18, Jamaica hosted Indian President Ramnath Kovind on a 4-day state visit to the island. Jamaica and India signed a memorandum of understanding for the provision of training to Jamaica's Foreign Service Institute. President Kovind and his wife also opened the Jamaica-India Friendship Garden on the premises of the Hope Botanical Gardens in St. Andrew. During a joint sitting of the Houses of Parliament, Prime Minister Holness announced plans to open a Jamaican High Commission in New Delhi this year. He also promised to strengthen cooperation with the Asian country.
We look forward to broadening our engagement at the multilateral level on issues of critical development importance, in particular climate change.
India is ready to partner with Jamaica and share its technical skills, knowledge and expertise, which could transform Jamaica's education and businesses.
Mr. Kovind was also guest of honor at a state dinner hosted by Governor General Sir Patrick Allen. Last Wednesday, Prime Minister Holness was in downtown Kingston to open the Port Royal Street Coastal Revetment Project. The $1.3 billion program was executed by the Jamaica Social Investment Fund with financing from the World Bank. Mr. Holness says the Urban Development Corporation plans to extend the 1-kilometer project by 20 kilometers to reach the Palisadoes Strip. The Prime Minister also revealed that talks are ongoing with the World Bank and the International Finance Corporation to establish a project for the redevelopment of downtown Kingston.
And we're very serious about that. We believe that that can be a major catalyst for economic growth in this area. So stay tuned. There will be more to come in the development of downtown Kingston.
Mr. Holness used the occasion to urge public sector workers who have been agitating for better wages not to engage in industrial action, which could disrupt the economic growth the country has been experiencing.
Now is not the time to disrupt the society. Protect our country, protect our society, protect our environment, protect our prospects for development.
And when news came that the island was experiencing a 5th wave of COVID-19 infections, the Prime Minister called for greater personal responsibility in stemming the spread.
If our monitoring shows that we need to take certain preventative actions, we will very quickly and very rapidly mobilize. We have never demobilized. We are still prepared and ready to act. I urge all Jamaicans, therefore, to follow the protocols. Wear your mask, sanitize. You know, if you are ill, stay home. If you don't have to go out, then don't. You know, be careful of how you move around in crowds. Just be very conscious.
Prime Minister Andrew Holness's COVID-19 message took a stronger tone on Friday when he announced plans to reinstate the enforcement of mandatory mask wearing. He made the disclosures on Friday while handing over two two-bedroom units under the new social housing program. The new homeowners, Beverly Thompson and Jermaine Clark, hail from Latium and Lottery in the parish. The units were built at a combined cost of $10.8 million.
I hope these units will improve the quality of your life. I hope you will use it to break the cycle of, poverty that your family would have been experiencing.
While in St. James Friday, the Prime Minister broke ground for Union Acres at Irwin. The National Housing Trust NHT development will boast 144 detached two-bedroom units, which will be sold exclusively to civil servants. Union Acres is a joint venture involving the NHT, the Jamaica Civil Service Association, and the Jamaica Confederation of Trade Unions. The development will be completed in segments with civil servants to start receiving houses by 2023.
They will be appropriately priced so that civil servants can afford them.
Friday also saw the Prime Minister joining the rest of the island in celebration of National Children's Day. He encouraged parents, guardians, teachers, leaders in civic groups and the wider society to engage and empower children to speak their truth in a positive and non-judgmental environment. The Prime Minister also urged children to utilize the 211 and Safe Spot hotlines.
Too often, children suffer in silence, fearful of repercussions if they express frustration or report abuse. Let us break this cycle of silence by facilitating safe environments for our children and to speak up and speak out.
And that's it for Jamaica House Weekly. Be sure to join us next time for more of the news stories coming out of the office of the Prime Minister.
From one government entity to the next, the Jamaica Social Investment Fund continues to use technology to make the country safer for citizens. Details of JSIF's revolutionary intervention next.
The Jamaica Social Investment Fund, JSIF, is helping to build safer communities through the Jamaica Crime Observatory Enhancement Project. Established in 2011, the Jamaica Crime Observatory is a web-based crime and violence data bank hosted by the Ministry of National Security.
The project is seeking to enhance the capacity of the Ministry of National Security, the Jamaica Constabulary Force, and a number of other stakeholders in their response to data collection, data entry, data dissemination, and data analysis. This is a World Bank funded initiative. It is valued at 44 million Jamaican dollars.
The upgrade to the system falls under JSIF's Integrated Community Development Project, ICDP. The aim of the ICDP is to improve basic infrastructure and social services delivered to 18 targeted at-risk communities. JSIF seeks to use data from the Crime Observatory to inform the planning of social and technical interventions to be implemented in these communities. To ensure a concerted approach towards crime prevention and management, a number of government entities supply statistics to the Crime Observatory. These include the Jamaica Constabulary Force, the Ministry of Health, the Registrar General's Department, and the Institute of Forensic Science and Legal Medicine.
We collect data from murder statistics to sexual offenses, suicide, traffic fatalities, hospital data, fatal shootings for various parishes in Jamaica.
The Jamaica Constabulary Force, JCF, is the primary source of data for the observatory. Under the project, the Statistics and Information Management Unit of the JCF has received handheld GPS devices to assist in increasing the accuracy of data collected.
From the perspective of the crime scene, the forensic crime scene analyst utilize the handheld devices provided by the Jamaica Social Investment Fund to map the exact location of each crime. The devices are also able to take photographs of the environment within which the crime occurred. With that information, the analysts are able to get a better context within which the crime occurred. And that has been very significant in our analysis process.
In addition, the gadget also assists us to be able to do analysis, temporal analysis of the time crime takes place. If you plot those information on a graph, you can see over a period of time, you can be able to determine trend, so you can do trend analysis.
As part of the JSIF funding, the unit also received laptops, desktop computers, firewall devices, servers, UPS devices and software packages to improve the efficiency of processing the data collected.
It allows us to provide data to the Crime Observatory in a much faster turnaround time than the monthly cycle that we usually provide the data to the Crime Observatory.
Additionally, 2 data entry clerks have been employed by the unit to assist with the timely input of information into the system. The Ministry of National Security will also receive funding to engage the services of a crime analyst.
What the engagement of the crime analyst will do is that they will help with better forecasting and predicting utilizing data which is in the Crime Observatory.
The project, which started in 2017, will also fund the training of 7 Ministry of National Security staff and 8 persons from the Jamaica Constabulary Force in the areas of system maintenance, spatial analysis, and the use of ArcGIS software technology. Improvements to the Jamaica Crime Observatory are essential to various stakeholders in the formulation of policies and strategies to keep Jamaicans safe.
What the Crime Observatory is able to do is provide us with good, timely, accurate data for us able to craft our policies, and from crafting our policies we're able to then craft acceptable strategies to help with the crime and violence and citizen security.
With geographic information system, we can actually pinpoint the exact location of a crime. We can pinpoint the area, such as a shop or a bar, that is likely to be affected by a particular type of crime, which means that we can practice preventative policing. We can actually preempt what is likely to take place, put in strategy in order to prevent those occurrences.
Through the Jamaica Crime Observatory Enhancement Project, the Jamaica Social Investment Fund is enhancing the efficient collection and analysis of crime and violence statistics, building on the capacity of the government to better plan crime-fighting strategies.
Here's the next thing that's guaranteed to make things much easier for us. The development of an information technology or IT platform that facilitates the efficient clearance of cargo and a simplified process of doing business.
Picture this. You're a busy entrepreneur working hard to grow your business. At the wharf to be cleared are the materials needed to make your products. You are required to visit several government offices and fill out multiple forms with similar information to complete this activity, spending time on the trading process that could otherwise be invested in your business. For you, this may just be a mental exercise, but for many entrepreneurs in Jamaica, it is the reality of trade. A reality that will change with the introduction of the Jamaica Electronic Single Window for Trade. An electronic single window ESW is an IT platform that facilitates the efficient clearance of cargo.
An electronic single window is expected to bring simplification, harmonization, and facilitation on international trade transactions under a robust electronic environment. This will bring facilities for customs brokers, government officials to interact with computerized systems that will have a set of business rules that will allow the traders to fulfill all regulatory requirements, submit all the required data, and be able to complete their transactions in a single and seamless system.
With that electronic single window for trade, clearly it's an electronic form, and that will be filled out one time at your convenience, online, and then behind the scene, the BRAs, the Border Related Agency, will collaborate to ensure that your application is accepted.
The agencies connected to the system will be able to grant the necessary permits, licenses, and approval for the release of merchandise. When approval is given, the trader receives a notification and can then proceed to collect or send off goods. The introduction of an ESW will reduce the cost and time it takes to import and export goods, creating a more enabling environment for local entrepreneurs and foreign investors.
Where we can develop and implement a system where all the transactions can take place through a particular port or point or window in this instance, it makes doing business easier. By extension, therefore, it is expected that the interest in conducting business will be improved, will be increased, and investors will see Jamaica as an even more attractive investor destination. On the other side, it also will aid in the collection of revenue, where we can have a greater throughput of trade and of activity, which by extension generates even much more in terms of the economy.
Implementation of the ESW began in August 2018, and the timeline for completion is 36 months. Over 20 border and regulatory government agencies will connect to the platform. The entity responsible for collecting revenue from trade, the Jamaica Customs Agency, is the lead implementing agency.
The electronic single window system will be fully integrated, of course, with the Ascuda World system. They're both built on the Ascuda World platform. That information will be passed seamlessly from the electronic single window into the customs management system. And that, of course, reduces time and complexity, having a single point of contact and simplification of information. So that transparent environment, having that electronic track and trace, and of course, ensuring that persons are carrying out their functions within the agreed time frame.
The ESW is projected to reduce the number of entities a trader comes in contact with from as much as 5 to 1. In the future, this is how a trader could be making arrangements for the clearance of goods. The Jamaica Electronic Single Window, facilitating efficiency in trade, contributing to a robust business environment, a part of the framework for making it easier to do business with Jamaica.
Your ideas can help to better lives, create opportunities, and change the world. Let's work together and nurture those thoughts. We leave you with that bit of advice as we wrap things on today's show. Thanks for sticking through the Jamaica Magazine journey. A refresher of yesterday's journey and others can be had through our YouTube channel. Also visit our Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter pages for more information. From all of us here at the GIS, I'm Adrian Atkinson. See you soon.
This has been a production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.